Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming and getting out of class. Yesterday, across America, we had what was called the Great American Shakeout, being prepared for earthquakes. And my geology class last quarter had to prepare a presentation based on earthquakes and what was going on in Arkansas. And they ended up making a video for their project, and Greg is going to share that with you. The other person in geology was Levi, and he graduated at quarter and didn't come back to help Greg. So Greg is going to share with you, he's made 3 presentations on Prezi. The first one is, first of all, why are we being prepared for earthquakes? And that's because there was an earthquake. This is the bicentennial of the earthquake that happened in 1811 and 1812. And Greg will go over that and tell you the effects of that. And then he will compare what the earthquake that they predict will happen here in Arkansas with the recent earthquake that we had in Japan. And keep in mind that he made this presentation in April, so he will give you some more up-to-date statistics than what are actually on it right now. And then finally, he will give you an overview of the drill that most schools in America did yesterday at 10:15 in the morning. You guys weren't here, you were probably all sleeping, so you didn't enjoy that drill. But we wanted to share with you what was going on. So Greg is going to lead you through his geology project. Is that the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, the first one I'm going to explain right now is the earthquake that happened over 100 years ago on the New Madrid Fault. And the New Madrid Fault is one of the major fault lines here in North America, and it lies along the Mississippi River. All right, since this was back in 1812, they had no seismographs or none of that stuff, so they had no general warning before this happened. Several properties were damaged due to this. In fact, everything in this path was probably destroyed because this was back in the days when they had log cabins and all that stuff. So when this earthquake struck, it was catastrophic. Since there were no pipelines or phone lines back in those days, there was really no fires that were caused due to this earthquake. It was pretty much the earthquake itself that did most of the damage. If we were to measure that earthquake back then on a current seismograph, it would probably be around 8.1 on the Richter scale, and that's a pretty strong earthquake. And if we compared it to today's currency, it would be billions of dollars that were spent due to damage. And this earthquake was so powerful that it made the Mississippi River flow backwards for 3 days, and it actually made the Boston Bell ring. So, pretty powerful. That's where we are, and all right, and this is an energy map of when this earthquake happened, and as you see, pretty much this whole half of the country is affected, and it even made the San Andreas Fault in California act up a little bit, but you see no energy here because this was back in 1812 before anybody really lived in that area, so there's no one really affected except the Indians. All right, the second one is we're comparing the earthquake that happened recently in Japan, and if a major earthquake were to strike here in Arkansas, and we're pretty much comparing the statistics of the two. All right, so the casualties are currently 14,416 deaths, and there's possibly more. They still haven't got done counting the death toll. Injuries are 5,314 people are injured, and possibly more. The cost and damage is roughly around $159 billion, so it was pretty bad. And it lies along the Pacific Ring of Fire, which, if you guys know, that's where a bunch of volcanoes lie. It's a very, very active fault. Damages, there was fires, buildings were destroyed, mudslides, there was tsunami, and they have nuclear problems if you've watched the news of radiation and stuff like that. And now we're comparing that, if that's the same type of...
Sorry,
Oh yeah. Japan only had about 80 seconds of general warning before this earthquake actually struck, so they didn't have much time at all. They were very unprepared for it. And they only had 3 minutes after this earthquake struck, that's when they initiated the tsunami warning. All right, now we're going to compare it if that type of earthquake were to strike here in Arkansas. Casualties, probably around 3,500 people, possibly more. Injuries, over 85,000 people would be injured. The fault that we lie on is the New Madrid fault. And damages, fires, building destroyed, there's possible mudslides, and oil leakage, because here in Arkansas we're big for natural gas. And we're big for natural gas. So there'd be a lot of oil leakage, but there'd be no nuclear. Well, there would because there's a plant in Russellville, but we'd be able to shut it down. Cost of damage would be around $6 billion. Preparedness, we'd probably be around roughly the same as Japan because we have just as many seismographs as they do because we lie along a major fault. And this is showing kind of what it was like. All right, now this next one is pretty much going to show you what to do in the event of a powerful earthquake. All right, the first rule, if you're indoors, get under a sturdy table. And if you don't have anything like that around, get on your hands and knees and put your hands over your head. Because this is to protect your head from falling debris. Because, as you know, earthquakes shake buildings and stuff will fall and you can get hurt. Second, if you're outdoors, stay away from tall buildings and cars. Because, I mean, if you do these things, your chances of getting hurt are seriously very slim. And always stay away from glass because, as you guys know, glass is very sharp when it is broken, and you don't want to get cut up. And this is our video that me and Levi prepared.
Have you heard of the recent earthquakes in Arkansas? Earthquakes, no way. There can't be any earthquakes in Arkansas. I mean, come on, it's Arkansas.
Wrong. In fact, there have been over 100 earthquakes in Arkansas in the past couple weeks, and those are the big ones hit.
Holy cow, an earthquake. Still a king, come on. Go down, man. Drop cover on that south out the road. Find us. If there's an earthquake or something, you should do for your own safety. If indoors, get under a sturdy table. There's not going to be on your hands and put your hands over your head. And outdoors, stay away from tall buildings and cars when you come to see these things. And always stay away from glass. If you're right about indoors, your chances of getting hurt are even close.
Okay, you can't stay right top of one, just look at the people down over the roof.
Sorry guys, that was my first earthquake. I got a little scared.
And the Great American Shakeout is April 28th, 2011 at 10:15 a.m., which was yesterday. And make sure you drop cover and hold on.
Now, I will tell you that we submitted the video to a contest for the Arkansas Department of Emergency Management and found out yesterday that our team, our school's class won. And so they will be in a commercial in September. So, thank you very much.